Hey everybody, I'm Brandon and this is my 2013 Stealth Fighter. It's basically a electric free ride bike, I'd call it. It's basically electric motor in the rear hub, a battery in the frame, a controller on the bottom. You have a throttle just like how a scooter would have, and a regen brake. You hold this button, basically it works like an engine brake. And then that energy that you're braking isn't getting used in your brake pad, instead of it's going back to your battery, which is a really cool feature. I wish a lot more vehicles and stuff had it. I've had this bike for over 2 years and I ride the living crap out of it. Anybody that knows me basically knows that. This is the second rear tire I've put on it and the stock front tire. Basically, I forget how many K I have on it, but it tells us so. I don't know if you can read that. But total kilometers, 4,745. Not bad. And I haven't done anything with this bike. I have never had to take my motor apart. The batteries needed no maintenance. It's just bicycle maintenance. I tighten things down now and then. I've had to service the rear shock once. The front forks still acting good. Probably get them serviced around that time. 2-3 years probably should get them done. Especially that I work them quite a bit. But I'm just seeing how far this bike can go and what it can do. A lot of my dirt bikes, even my sleds around this time, this is when the engines are done. This motor's still pushing out just like the day I got it. So I'm very impressed with that. Other neat features on this bike that are a little bit different is the crank has this button on the shaft. It's like a heel clicker, and that basically changes gears. So right now we're in first gear, so if I hold my finger on the stealth symbol, it's not moving on the crank. But if I grab second gear, as you can see, that stealth symbol is now moving away from my finger quite quickly. I don't know if you can see that, but it's spinning a bit faster. And other than that, it's just downhill mountain bike parts. I've run quite a few different brakes before, but these Magiras, the MT4s that they sent out with this bike, are working really well. I have a lot of confidence doing wheelies and everything else because that back brake is right there and it's a one-finger brake. And as well as doing stoppies, I can jump this bike. Even though the weight's on the back end, I can still hop up and do a stoppie or a nose wheelie. Takes a lot of practice, but this bike is very handleable. So if you can ride a mountain bike and a scooter, you should try one of these. So this summer I decided to, as you can see the logo there, I wanted to go completely full solar with the system. So I basically bought an off-grid cabin setup and bolted it on my bus. They put it on, actually, I just help lower the price and stuff. Those guys are really helpful. And so far, this solar panel setup has run my fridge and my bike. Right now the fridge is in the cabin I'm staying in now. But it kept up no problem. Right now my panels are mostly sitting idle. I need to start using them more, but this is an awesome setup. So anywhere I drive this bus to, my bike, fridge, electronics, everything runs off of. This system is made for an off-grid cabin, and I'm very happy with that, because now even hippies can't bug me about being on coal power or stuff like that, because now I'm on full solar. My bus is propane, so that's not really helping much. But still, the panels are there and they're running this bike every day. I try to ride this bike almost every day, run a charge through it, get 40, almost 50 K out of it. And it still performs like the day I got it. I'm not seeing that fade like you would with the gas bikes. Nothing against the gas bikes, I still love them, but I can ride this thing 10 times more, 10 times often, because nobody's disturbed by the noise, because it doesn't make any noise. So as soon as you take the noise away, the problem kind of goes away with it. As well, it's not that powerful. It's not going to rip up lawns and stuff like that. It's relatively probably 4 horsepower, but it feels more powerful out of torque. but it's not a spinning. You're not gonna, unless you're riding the front brake on wet grass, then you'll spin. But other than that, you're not ripping stuff up. You can, but it's mostly railing hard and smacking the brakes. So far the brakes are still far more powerful than the motor. So anybody that can get some speed and lock their brakes up on a normal mountain bike can do the same damage. But it does not do what a dirt bike does. Actually, following dirt bikes on their trails sucks because they rip it all apart. This thing packs it all down like a mountain bike. So you basically build yourself a mountain bike trail, and that's what it's going to act like. Except you can hit jumps uphill and stuff like that. You're not limited by downhill only. You can ride uphill, flat, anywhere you want at any speed, up to 60 km an hour, of course. The bombers are faster. I believe I can get about 82, 85 out of them, really. This bike you can get about 65 out of if you're holding it wide open on a nice flat stretch, which is pretty fast, but it's a bit heavier of a bike compared to a mountain bike. But compared to a dirt bike, it's much lighter. It's not really a mountain bike because mountain bikes can't do what these bikes do, and they also don't have a motor, other than yourself, of course. But this is just the happy balance between you like the mountain bikes because it's quiet and you can play around and go more noise sensitive areas and not have to worry about causing damage. You know, it's up to yourself to not cause damage. But then you still get the adrenaline and the feeling of a motorbike, and you can go wherever you want and stuff like that. Of course, you can't trespass and stuff like that. There's certain trails you probably shouldn't go on. And if you do go on trails that are used by many users, or all types of users, just ride slow. I ride slower than the mountain bikes generally. I just cruise along, give people the right of way, etc.